muscle pose or something. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Troy with DIY Home and Auto. This is another video in my series of DIY, do-it-yourself stuff. In today's video, I'm out here in my garage. I've insulated all of the walls in the exterior and the attic, the ceiling, the empty space above my head, whatever we're calling it. My gosh, I'm losing my mind. That space has never been insulated. Today's video, we are preparing the attic for the insulation. Appreciate you following along. If I've earned it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share the video. That helps my channel immensely. In the meantime, let's get to work. So remember that leak I had in the ceiling, or in the roof? Today, we are fixing that from the inside. It's already been patched on the roof, so it's not leaking anymore. When I climbed up in there, there's no insulation in our attic. So I bought me a 2x10, I think that's a 2x10, building walls up in there to keep the insulation that will blow in at bay without falling in when we open the access panel. When I started cutting into that, I had a plan, and then when you make your marks on the ceiling with Sharpie, yeah, that happened. I'm not perfect. Surprise. All right, let's get busy. I've got to measure so that I can cut that to length to get them installed. Up, down, up, down, up, down. We're going to do that, and then we're going to insulate our attic. Alright, I got my box built, but the next step is to put vents in. We don't want our insulation going and covering the vents, clogging up the airflow. You gotta have airflow or you're gonna have moisture problems, and it's gonna be a problem. That's a guarantee. They just go between the joists up against the sheathing on the roof, and then there's a cavity that's built behind them. I'll pull one out and show you. But I'm just going to attach them with a little staple gun. This here's a Stanley. That is aircraft aluminum. What? That's how half the world says it. Aluminium. I don't know how they get that out of that, but whatever. Aluminum. Aircraft aluminum. And we're just going to use probably 3/8 inch. I don't want to go all the way through into my shingles. I do not want to cause a water problem. I might actually just go with the 1/4 inch. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 1/4 inch. Executive decision made. Let's pull one of these out and show you what they look like. Alright, so there's a side profile of it, and this side is the side that goes towards the ceiling, and it creates those air channels, one right there and one right there, that allows the air to still flow from the vents on the outside of the house. So looking up at your eaves, the vents are the perforated soffit. So each one of these that has the holes in it is a vent. So I'm going to put up one in every single joist cavity along the front side of the house, probably every other one along the side of the house, and then every single one along the back side as well. That's what we're up against. But I picked these up at Lowe's. They're probably available at, I don't know, Menards, any of the other big box stores that are in your area, Home Depot, whatever. I bought 2 10-packs. They were about $18 each 10-pack, so $36 to keep ventilation and not have a water problem. It's an easy investment to make. So would I rather be doing this or working on Midnight Maroon? That is a 79 Ford F-250 under there. This is the engine for that, so if you're into that sort of thing, be sure and subscribe, and you'll see us work on that. We've got a whole playlist for that guy. We're about to put that thing into there. Video coming. But for now, let's get the vents put in. I'm not super excited about this. I really do not want to get up into my attic today. But I gotta get this done because winter is upon us. So I'm gonna make this as easy on myself as possible. I'm not taking a camera up there. Worried more about my safety than showing you the footage of that. But once I get it done, I'll definitely take you up there and show you what I've done. I want to be able to keep that cool air in during the summer and keep the hot air in, or the warmer air in, during the winter. So that's the goal. That's why we're doing this. I spend a lot of time in my garage, as you know if you follow along. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, subscribe, do all those things. Love you guys. Thanks. Wish me luck going back up into the attic and prepping the entire attic for insulation, which will be the next step. To give you an idea of why I'm insulating this garage, I'm going to spend a lot of time out here in the winter, and it just gets really cold. Today is Black Friday. It's the day after Thanksgiving. You're probably not going to see this posted for a little while, but the low temperature last night was 25 degrees here in Salt Lake City. And the temperature in the garage right now, if I'm reading that correctly, is about 46 maybe degrees. And that's cold, right, for a garage. But to be fair, I've got a gaping hole in the ceiling that opens up to the attic, which is vented to the outside. When you stand directly under that, you can actually feel that cold air coming down in. And outside, it's 41 degrees right now. I'm gonna get the insulation done in here, and then we'll do this little test again. But for now, I'm gonna get up in the attic and show you the progress that I've made up there. I am gonna go purchase the insulation today and hopefully schedule the machine. If you buy enough of the bags of insulation at one of the big box stores, I'm shopping at Lowe's for this particular item. They offer the machine for free if you buy enough. So that's what I'm doing. I think it's a 21 bag minimum to get the machine for free. I am going to buy 30 bags. That'll do this entire space, plus I'll show you when I get up there. Our laundry room, which sits right behind this room, they put bat insulation on top of that, but that room gets really cold. It gets hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. It is not insulated properly. It makes me wonder if this wall is insulated, but I don't know for sure. I haven't busted that open to see, but I think once I insulate the ceiling in this space, that should really help. So let's get up in the attic, take a look at what we got. Oh my gosh, that was paused the whole time. I just gave the whole spiel and it was paused the whole time, so that's perfect. All right, well, welcome to my attic. Let's try this again. Those white things that are going up the roof slope, those are the vents. I got those in. Those are just stapled in, kind of at the top edge. They'll stay in place until the insulation is blown up next to it. To help hold the bottom side up, but the staples will hold the top sides. The insulation that I'm using, I'll show you that when I get to Lowe's today, but I only need 8.9 inches. I'm rounding it up to 9 inches to give me an R value of 30. This is that insulation I was talking about over here coming from the house side. It tapers down to literally 3.5 inches. I think it's supposed to be closer to 10 or 12 inches for the type of insulation that is. So it's not insulated really well up against the edges. And I don't know why they were so scared to just get that done right, but for whatever reason they didn't. Behind me, that is the laundry room with the batting insulation that I said they put on top. That insulation should be adequate for that space. That's what makes me wonder if those walls, the interior walls of the garage, are not insulated. And I apologize for my voice. I'm dealing with a pretty nasty chest cold. Bear with me. But I've had a couple of leaks up here. I was explaining that when it wasn't recording. You can see right there, you can see where that's stained. That is a drip that was taking place. And it was dripping down on that insulation. You can see that it was kind of matted down by the water that was coming in. But I've got those sealed up now. We've had some really heavy rainstorms, and I've gotten up in here and double checked that all of my leaks are sealed, so I don't have an ongoing problem. But
If you're going to try this type of a project on your own, first of all, do it only if you're comfortable doing it. You're doing it at your own risk, and here's some tips. So that sheetrock is not strong enough to hold you up. You put a knee into that, you step on it in any way, shape, or form, and it's falling, and if you have enough weight on it, you're going with it. We had one of our neighbors fall through, and he literally broke his back. He fully recovered at this point, but he did fracture a vertebrae in his back, and he's very lucky that it could have been much worse. Here's what I do. I have a 2x6 that I use. You know, you step here and you step here, and you place this forward and kneel down on it. It's long enough to reach across two joists. You don't want to kneel out on this end. You got to pay real close attention to what you're doing when you're up here, and just know that you could fall at any moment. And you know, I'm not super fond of heights, but what I am scared of is that abrupt stop at the bottom. That'll get you every time. So be smart, don't do dumb stuff. If you're not comfortable being in an attic, by all means, don't get in an attic. Hire this job out. But if you're comfortable being up here and you're safe and conscious of what you're doing, you know, you'll be all right. Just be extra cautious of where your knees are, where your feet are, where your hands are at all times, and don't lose your balance. Don't bring so much stuff up here that you're all clogged up and can't move around. So just be smart. Don't do dumb stuff. And if you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. I got all the insulation. I do have to get in the attic one more time to mark the depth. So when I spray in, I know exactly how deep to make the insulation to get my R30. Tomorrow I pick up the machine that sprays that. This is 20 bags. I left 10 bags at the store. I'll pick those up tomorrow when I pick up the machine, and then we'll get busy on it. The insulation that I'm going with is from Sanctuary. It's by Green Fiber. Sound thermal fire barrier, so it should be a good application for knocking down some of the sound that I'll be making in the shop as well for my neighbors. The attic coverage chart, this is what I care about. There's also sidewall and floor, and sidewall for sprayed application, loose fill, dense pack. Anyway, this is what we care about over here for the attic. Loose fill and sprayed applications, and that's what we're doing, is spraying, and we are looking for an R value of 30. Minimum thickness in inches is 8.9, so I'm going to set mine at 9 inches. I'm going to mark all of my trusses and whatnot at 9 inches so that I know all the way across my attic that I've got enough insulation. That's what we're going for. Tomorrow I'll go pick up the rest of the insulation. My son Tavish works. My wife will be home. She is not excited about it, but she's a trooper. If I ask her to do it, she'll do it. I got to get up in the attic again. I'm so excited. Well, that officially sucked. I got all the trusses marked at 9 inches, but I had to crouch down and lean over each joist, truss, whatever, to put these marks on. But we're marked at 9 inches all the way around. It gets super dark down that other end, but got them all marked, ready to go for tomorrow. All right, we have started the process. There's my beautiful bride. She's helping me today. I talked her into that. She was willing to help, so I took advantage of that so that we can spend time together. Her down here and me up there. We're about 2/3 of the way done, and what we've found is we're plenty warm working. It's 48 degrees outside right now. We have a fan going to kind of take care of some of the dust. If you break up the pieces as they go into the hopper, it tends to fall down through the metal grate a little bit easier to feed the tube. Lowe's gave me 3 containers of tubing, but we're only using one length. One length was plenty to do what I needed to have done. So I'm gonna climb up in there and show you where we're at so far. Alright, so I'm standing on the top of the ladder looking in to the space. You can see my marks that show the 9-inch level mark. What I've found is I'm not putting enough far out, so I'm going to have to get up in here close and kind of reach out there and redo the stuff that's way out there on the edges. And from this level here, I can actually see that it tapers off real hard as it goes out towards the eaves. I've blown back in farther onto the house and leveled that all out, so it's essentially level with what's over the rest of the roof. My goodness, my voice. So anyway, that's where we're at now. We're going to crank up the machine. I'll have my wife video a little bit of the process of blowing the stuff in while the hopper's full, so that you can see what that looks like using the blower as we go. My gosh, I'm losing my voice completely. Look at it go now. It's going crazy. Whatever you're doing, keep doing that.
All right.
Muscle hose or something. Yeah. Oh my god. How did you get so dusty?
Because I did the job of the machine. I did the machine's job for it.
Alright. Thank you very much. You're the best. Couldn't have done that without you. As you can see, this process makes quite the mess, but it just is what it is. My advice would be to cover anything that you care about with some sort of plastic, tarp, something. Might make cleanup just a little bit easier. I'm going to use my leaf blower and just kind of get it airborne. I'll have a couple of fans blowing out the front of the garage, and that should take care of the majority of the dust. We have a lot left on the floor. We debated on sweeping it up and putting it in the hopper to go up into the attic, but I opted to just blow the hopper out, get the hose emptied for the next guy. That first hose that we tried was clogged, so make sure you get multiple hoses when you get it. You might find that one of the hoses is clogged and completely unusable. That's what we found, and then you have to kind of play with this a little bit. It was working the best when my wife was breaking it up by hand so that it was small enough to get down between the grate. The smaller she broke it up, the better it came through the tube ultimately and was going faster. It's slower for her because she has to sit there and break it all up, but it went into the attic better. Let's go take a look at the finished product. Alright, and here is the finished product. It's no longer an echo chamber like it was at the first. I don't really care about that because this better be the last time I'm ever up in this space ever again. But I have at least 9 inches all the way around. Like I said, I needed 21, I bought 30 bags. I used the extra bags to go farther back into the existing space of the house. I'll see if I can get the light. Oh, there we go. It no longer tapers off. It's that full 9 inches now across the whole space. And then once I had it all at the 9-inch level, I just kind of sprayed the rest of it out over, trying to level it out as best I could. And you can see I did a decent job. There's no real shadow points. I'm holding the light at the same angle as the camera. There's no real dark shadow spots or pockets back in there. Well, now that it's several days later, I got really sick. I had a really nasty chest cold. Turned into laryngitis. I lost my voice for 2 or 3 days. But I think I'm finally back. I got to get that attic thing buttoned up. Let's finish this project. Gonna trim out the hole so that it will hold up the access panel. I'm gonna insulate that, but the very first thing I gotta do is trim that out, leaving a little lip poking out on all 4 sides so that it will hold that and be strong enough to hold the weight of that. The material that I got for that is 1x4 MDF, and I'm just going to miter the corners, nothing fancy. Use a pin nailer to hold it up. Doesn't have to hold a whole ton of weight. We're also going to insulate that panel to help hold the cold air up in the winter and the hot air, well, you know, to insulate it. The plan is to leave a 1/2 inch on either side all the way around for the access panel to actually rest on. Yeah, and then when you first put them up, be sure and do it wrong so that you can pull them down. Pull your nails out so you can practice pulling nails out. Yeah, it's perfect. I did a 1 inch overhang on the one side, and then it was flush on the other side. We're doing a 1/2 inch overlap on each side. So, mistakes, it's fine. Just move forward, fix them, and move on. All right, let's try that again. So the access panel hole is about 24 inches by 20, oh boy, I'm gonna have to measure it again, 21.5. I'll measure it again to be sure on that. That's the size of the panel that I'm gonna make, so I need to cut down. You can buy panels that are 24, well, they're 23 3/4 by 23 3/4. But you'll find them, they're over by either the sheetrock or the insulation is where you'll find these. I also got same size styrofoam so that I can put that on there as well. I'm going to take one extra step for, well, 2 extra steps actually. I got some of this. It's essentially bubble wrap that is reflective material on both sides. So the plan is cut my panel to size, cut a piece of this that fits that exactly and glue it to the sheetrock panel. Put the styrofoam over the top, put another layer of this, and just glue it all into place so that everything sticks together. Then when you push it up and move it out of the way, everything stays in place where it's supposed to. So that's the plan, and then we'll do a test on the temperature in here without using a heater and just see if we can get it to see what we get compared to the outside temperature. I'm going to leave the garage door closed so that it's just all still self-contained. Let's get this built. I'll show you what I've done. I'm going to just time-lapse the build of it, and then I'll show you kind of the finished product. We'll put it into place, and then I'll do an update before I post this video on what the current temperature is outside compared to inside, that sort of thing. We've already noticed a difference in our laundry room, which is just on the other side of the wall right behind you. It's already staying warmer in there than it had been before. Alright, I don't know what the total R value is of this the way it currently sits. Don't know. I looked to see what the R value of styrofoam is. I don't know for sure. If somebody else knows, they could post it down below. This is 1 inch thick styrofoam. And then I have 2 layers of the foil bubble wrap, essentially. One on either side. I want to be able to hold the hot air either out or in, depending on. So that's why I did that. I haven't actually test fit this. I probably should have done it before I built it, in case I had to modify it, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm going to poke it up there in the hole and see what it does. Because America, that's why. Oh. Boom. Oh, it's already better. Shut that cold air off right now. Yeah, that is amazing. I could feel cold air, just water falling down onto me as I was up there on the ladder. As soon as that thing slapped closed, it just killed that cold air coming in. So this is gonna work out great. So right now, here's our thermometer, 53 degrees or so, 53. Total cost, I'm all into this, just barely under $500. Not counting several trips to and from the store, picking up the bags of insulation. I point here because this is where all the garbage went, the bags that they were in. But all those bags of insulation, took me 2 trips to get those here. 1 trip back to the store to take the machine back, and then another trip to the store for the material I needed there. I probably could have been a little bit smarter and gotten that at the same time as the trip back. Well, one or the other trips with the machine or picking up the insulation, whatever. So just factoring all of those things in, probably right at $500 to get my attic insulated. It's all in my head right now, but it already feels warmer in here. It's still only 53 degrees, but it is what it is. I'm gonna give this overnight. I'll show you the thermostat in the morning. Well, as it goes, it's several days later. That's just kind of how things go for me. Outro for this video. Current temperature in here is 55 degrees. It's currently 41 degrees outside. Temperature's dropping fast and it's actively snowing. Overall, I'm happy with the space. It feels better when I come out here. It's definitely warmer. It doesn't chill off as fast. I also put a gasket seal around my garage door. That's also helping with cutting down on that air that comes in through the side of the garage door. That's going to help immensely as well. I'm happy with it. Cost about $500 all in, including the gasket seal around the door. Give me a like if you think I deserved it. This is Troy with DIY Home and Auto. Please like, share, subscribe. Do all the things. Love you guys. Be sure and subscribe so that you can see the other projects that we're working on. Got some engine parts. Brand new motor underneath the plastic there. Lots of things happening. We're excited. Going to be doing some body work, things to take up my time during the winter. That's why we did this, so that we could be more comfortable while we're doing these things over the winter. So again, Troy, DIY Home and Auto, checking out. See you guys in the next video.